So what do I want to do? What do I want to do? I want to make something like a movie. So I will have some poster for different movies in my data. And then I will have some information about the movies. I will not make it complex now. I'll make it simple as possible because you're still starting. I mean, you're just starting with the separation of concern. Later on, we can filter the movie depending on, for example, if it's drama or if it's action or stuff like that. But for now, I will make it simple. So first, I need to define my data here. The first step I taught you, you need to know what your data are. So my data here, as you can see, I have an object, as you can see. And in this object, I will have different movies. So I can just say movies like that. And movies, it will be an array. And it's array of object. So here I need to, for each movie, I need to have an ID. All the time when you are dealing with real data, each object must have a unique ID. Because if you don't have a unique ID, you cannot really select or know what this element. So the ID all the time, it will be unique. You need to add the ID here. Most of the time, when you're really working with real project, you don't need to worry about that because you will get the data from the backend. So I need the ID, I need the title, for example, and here, this one, for example, the Shawshank Redemption. And here, what I don't care about the director. What I care about is just the poster here, like that. And I think hopefully that will be correct. I don't know if it's not correct. After that, I will check it online. So the poster is just an image. I will use Copilot just to get this data. And here I need to add what's the title here. Number 4. Yeah, what the hell is that? 3 will be enough. For now, 3 will be enough. If I want more data, I can add later. It's fine. So as you can see in my movies, my data is very simple. I have an array of movies. I have an ID. I have a title. And after that, I have a poster here. It's quite simple. That's my data. Any question about the data? Any question about the data? Any question about the data?
It's like for me, there is object inside, there is array, and after that it's also object. So if we would like to go into poster, it will be data movies dot movies dot poster.
No. And now you will see why we are putting it this way, because now movies is an array. I put them inside the array because like that I can loop through the array. As you know, array has a lot of method, right? So what I can do, I can just say data.movie, and then I can loop through each object and I can access. And after that, of course, I will have one object. And from this object, I can access the title and the poster very easily. You got it, Agnieszka?
Yeah, but yeah, we'll see how it works, because it's like one inside of the other one. So like, yeah, I think it will be difficult.
No.
Okay.
The reason why my data is object, because maybe I need to add more data in the future. And if my data, it will be an array, I cannot add more. That's the reason why I create this one here, data as an object. I told you all the time, your data should be an object. But here, movies, I have multiple movies. I don't have one movie. So it need to be an array. Okay? It need to be an array. But now each movie also, it has a lot of property. It does not have just one property. I don't have only the title of the movie. No. I have ID, title, poster, maybe the director, maybe the actor, and stuff like that. So I cannot put it in just one value. So I need to create an object. You got the point?
Yeah.
And in real life, when you fetch data from an API, from the backend, you will have all the time objects and arrays and object, and you may have array also inside the object. So you need to get used to that. Okay?
Okay.
Is my data clear here? Any problem with the data? Any problem with the data? Good. Now here I need to create my, after the data, what do I need to select? Guys, what do I need?
The DOM?
The DOM, of course. So the DOM here, I don't have any DOM here, so I need to open my index.html here, and I need to plan for my project. If I don't plan for my project here, I will not be able to do anything. So here, what's the title of my stuff here? It's movies, for example. And now here, I need to go to open my Excalibur. Click here, open this one. How do I want to show these movies? So I need to ask myself this question. Well, what I want to do now, I wanted to have, let me just delete this one as well. So I wanted to have, let's do it this way. Let's say that's my page. I need to have the title here. So it will be title static. So it will be, it will not change. Here I can name it movies or whatever. That's my title. I already hard coded in my HTML, right? Yes or no? If I go back, that's my title here, as you can see, movies. Or I can just put here H1 if I want to. So let's go here to the body and let's add a header. And in header, let's say, yeah, I will add H1 and I say movies or nice movies or whatever you want to call it. So that's my header here. I already put it. That's the title. That's the H1. But the second part, what do I need? Well, I need a div here. I need a parent container like that. It could be div. And after that, I want to show each movie like that. So it will, I will have one movie. No, control is, I don't want you, my friend. Here, Command D. Command D, I'm just duplicate some of them. Say I want the second movie like that, third movie like that, and fourth movie like that. Well, so that will be my website. Of course, they need to be at the same level exactly like that. So that's movie 1, that's movie 2, that's movie 3. Is the idea clear what I'm trying to do now? Yeah?
Yes.
So that will be my movie 1. That will be my movie 2. That will be my movie 3. That will be my movie 4. Of course, if I have more space, I can put this one on. It really depends what I want. Or I can put all of them like movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, movie 4. It really depends what I want. Okay, now it should be clear. What should I create here? Well, what I need to create here, I can create the main tag here just to separate of them. And then I need just to have a div. And this div, I will give it a class. What should class we should give it? Maybe movies, right? Because I will put all my movies here inside this div here. So I have my title here, and then here in the main, I have my movies here. That will be the parent, the container. I will put all my movie inside this here, this div. Do I need more HTML element or that is enough? Yeah,
Enough?
of course it's enough. Why I don't put movie inside this one? Can anyone tell me? Why I cannot put my movies here? Each movie like that. Why I cannot put it this way? Movie 1, movie 2, movie 3, movie 4. Why I cannot do that?
You will render it in your JS file?
Indeed. I can do it this way, but that's really bad way. And it's the best way to do it because I have multiple movie. I have an array. So if I go back to my data, and as you can see, I have an array. That's the reason why I make it an array. What I need to do, because this movie will change. They are not static. Now I have 3, maybe after that I will have 4, maybe 10, maybe 20. So I do not know how many movie do I have. Maybe it's coming from the backend, there are 20, 100,000. So all those are not static. Those are changing. So anything not static, I should not put it inside the HTML. Now I put the title inside HTML because the title never gonna change. I put this parent div because I know I'm gonna put all my movie inside this parent div. But the movie itself, I shouldn't put it. It's really bad idea to put the movie. Even if I create the movie, I don't have the data yet. So I cannot render anything. Is the idea clear? So all the time you need to think which part of my website here is static. It will never gonna change. Then you need to put it in your HTML. For example, the parent of all movies, yeah, it's static. It's just a parent here. And now I will put all my movie inside here. But are the movie, they're static? Of course not. They're changing because that's data coming from the backend. It's an array. That's the reason why I create an array. Because I need to create the movie itself inside my JavaScript. Okay, should be clear? Is it clear, guys, or not?
Yes.
Okay, let's now define our element. I just say const dom, it's equal to. Of course, now I will not need the header because the header is static, but I need these movies here. Why? Because now when I create my movie in Java, the single movie or all the movie, I need to put it inside this guy here. So I need to select it. So I will just say movies. I will just name it movies or movies container, whatever you want to call it. So movies, it's equal to document.query selector. And as you can see, it's a class dot movies. Well, that should be simple. So I have only one element here, which is be the parent of the movies. Should be clear, right? Yes, no?
Yes.
Good. I don't need any HTML anymore. And now here, I will just go here and I will just say utils. And I don't know if I need to any util function, but just it's a good idea to use it like that, util. And then here I have component, as you know. And then I have handlers, right? Handlers. And then I have event or listener, whatever you want to call it. I will call it events. So now I have these 4 type of function. As you know, I will start first with the event. Why? Because simply the event, if I know what the event is, it will be really simple to create the handler. And after that, from the handler, I will see if I need any util or component function. So what is the event? Okay, what do I want to do? Well, what I want to do here, if I open my page in live server here, so what I want to do, as you can see, refuse to connect, apply styles dot. So probably I have something wrong in my here. Yeah, because here it's styles. Is it styles? Yes, it is styles, but it's not style here. It's index. Now it should be good. Clicky, good. So what do I want to do? I want when my page is loaded, I want to show my movie directly. So here with that as an event, it will be when the page is loaded. So when my page is loaded, I want automatically to show all the movies. What is the event here? So if you don't know, you can just Google it. Google it and see what's the event. So I want to show my movie when the page is loaded. So you can say, for example, what is the event we need to use in DOM when my page is loaded? Any idea? No? Ginyando? No one? Okay, in this case, we have 2 events. We can use 2 events. I can use document.
Unload.
Yes, onload. Yeah. So now, if there's a little bit differences between these 2 here. So I will show you 2 ways, and I will tell you what's the difference between the 2. So as you know, the document is your page, right? So if I go here and I say document, as I explained before, document is just your page here. Cool. I can use the document and say add event listener, and the event, it will be DOM content load. And here I can put my function like that. And second event I can use Windows, add event listener, and I can use load. So we have 2 events I can use on load. One of them is called document, here DOM content load. And the second one is the Windows. You already know what's the Windows. The Windows is the biggest object in JavaScript, as I told you. Windows is the biggest object in JavaScript. And also it includes inside it the document, by the way. So inside it, I have the document. So the Windows is the biggest object, as you know. It's even this document inside the Windows. But why do I have these 2 events? Can anyone tell me what's the difference between these 2 events? So I have document.add event listener, and the event is DOM content load. And then I have I have another event, windows.add event listener, which is just load. There is slightly different between these 2. Can anyone tell me what's the difference between the 2? Come on, guys, try. Here from the name, DOM content load. Here, load. So this one here, it's faster a little bit comparing to the other one. So this is faster than Windows.load. So I will just say faster. That's number 1. Here is a little bit slower. So here, it will trigger when your DOM, just when the DOM element is ready. That means when your HTML, when your HTML is being loaded, it being show only your HTML when it's ready. When it show here, it parse in the element here, then it will trigger. But this one, the load, it will wait until the HTML is load, as the CSS is load. If there is any images, so it will wait for the whole page, everything to be loaded, then it will trigger. Did you now know the difference between the 2 or not? Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the first one is better. So the first one is better and we should use the first one?
No, it's not about better or not, Agnieszka. Here, sometimes when you need to apply the style, okay, if you want to have, if you have CSS, and of course you don't want to show your movie just like without style, right? I mean, here it will just wait for the DOM only to load. It will not wait for the CSS, for the pages, or so for the image, anything. But here it will wait until everything is loaded, then it will show it. It's not about better or not better. If you want to wait only for your DOM, you don't care about the CSS, you don't care about the image, then you should use this one. But if you need your CSS, you need your images, everything, then you should use this one. And the difference here, when I say faster and slower, it's in milliseconds, the difference. It's not just that difference in like 1 second or two. No, it's in millisecond. But this one here, in some case, we use it. If you want only the DOM to load, you don't care about the CSS or the images, all of that being loaded. But if you want to see, to show the images, the style, and everything, then you should use this one. So the only difference is, depends. This one is a bit faster comparing to this one. Again, the difference in millisecond. But of course, if I want to also to wait for my CSS being uploaded, my images, because I want to show everything, then the load is the one I need to use. Is the difference between the two is clear
Yes.
for everyone?
Yes.
Okay, good. Now, for now, I will wait for, I don't want to wait for the DOM. I want to wait for my images, for poster, for everything. So I'm going to just use the load here. It will be a slightly, in millisecond, a little bit slower, but I don't care. I mean, my website is not that complex. It will be really fast. So I will use the Windows. Again, the Windows here has event load because the Windows and documents are two different objects. Huh? Yes, the document exists in the Windows, but they have different events. The Windows cannot use DOM content load. No, the event on it is called load. That's it. But the document has another event, so it depends which one you use. You cannot use document DOM content load with the Windows because simply they are different objects. The event exists in the Windows are different from the event exists on the document. Is the idea clear? Okay, now let's check if it's working or not. I'm just gonna log something here. And I'm gonna log, for example, uploaded, for example, like that. Just to check if everything is working or not. And now here, if I go to my console, as you can see, well, app is loaded, so it's working automatically. Actually, maybe it's a good idea also to show you the second event document, .add event listener. And here I will just close this one just to show you the difference between the two. So normally here, I'll put it here at the top and this one here. DOM loaded, uploaded. So as you can see, the DOM is happen first because it takes less time. Even if I think even if I put it here like that, DOM loaded, so it will not change. So as you can see, even if I put the app at the top, because as you know, JavaScript will excuse this one first. This one, it will happen first. Why? Because I told you this one take less time. Click like that. And maybe I can just use console.time. So maybe I can use console.time. Upload. This one is upload, yes. And here I can use console. I did not explain console.time. So time and in time, here it will log the time I have. So how much time it need to load. And I can add the DOM here saying in time. So let's see how much time we have. So as you can see, the DOM load, it's 0.95 millisecond, as you can see. It's millisecond, so it's very, it's not even 1 millisecond, huh? It's 0.9 millisecond. And it looks like I cannot have this time for the upload. So not all the time, this console.time, it will give you the time for upload for everything. But what I know now for now, that DOM load, it's faster comparing to the upload because the upload need to wait for the CSS, need to for the image and everything. And for console.time, as you can see, I just say console.time. I will just put message, whatever I want to, and console.time end. And here it will just calculate the time for me. And it will show me my message, of course. DOM loaded here. It will show me this message here. And it will tell me it took 0.9 millisecond. 0.9 millisecond, it's very, very, very small time, huh? Millisecond, it's 1,000. Okay, it's 1,000 of seconds. So it's very small time. Cool. We'll study console.time a little bit later in behavior strategy implementation in detail to tell us which one is a little bit faster than which one. Okay, let me get rid of this one because I don't want this one. I want the load. And my load is quite clear. Everything is good. So now when my page is loaded, what do I want to do? What do I want to do when my page is loaded? I want to call a handler, right? So now I need to create a function, and this function when my page is my page is loaded, or when my application is loaded, not the page, but the application is loaded, it will be triggered. What should I name this function? Load handler. I can just name it load handler. Yes, no? Const load handler, and I'm going to create my my handler like that. What's the problem is, you guys? Is it difficult what I'm explaining? Hello? Guys?
It's fine, but it's new.
Yeah, but it's new. It's okay. That's why we're here to learn.
Yeah.
It's not new. It's just this event is new. I'm telling you, this one loads. That means when your application is being loaded, then the DOM is being parsed, the CSS is being parsed. If you have any images, it will wait for the images. Then it will call this function. So what is the load handler? What do I want to do when my page is loaded? Can anyone tell me what do I need to do when my page is loaded? I don't need this guy anymore, so I can just focus on this one here. What do I want to do when my page is loaded? Guys, what do I want to do when my page is loaded? I need to loop through my data, my movies, and for each movie, I need to create a DOM element. And this DOM element here, or I will create a div for each movie, because each movie should be inside the div like that, the styling, it will be a little bit better. I need to create a div, and then inside the div, I need to have a title, and then I need to create an image to add the poster. That's it. Yes, no?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So let's try to do that. How can we do that? How can I loop through an array? How can I loop through what array method I need to use?
Map.
Maybe not map, maybe for each.
Hmm?
Why? Because if I use map here, I can map if I want to, but maybe I can use for each. So for each, I can loop through each one of them, and then for each, I need to create the DOM element and add. I
Yeah.
can use map too, by the way, but I think for each, it will be easier.
Okay.
Let's try to do it. So what should I do? I see data dot movies, right? Dot for each. What is for each? What is for each?
Movie?
Method.
What is for each?
Method.
Method.
No, it's a higher order method. It's not just a method, it's a higher order method. That means it take a function as a parameter. Okay? So now when I loop through the movie, for each time I'm looping, I will have an object, right? I'm looping through my movie. So each time I will have, that's my object 1, that's my object 2, that's my object 3, and so on. And because I am looping through movies, it's a good idea to name it what? What's the name here for single one?
Movie.
Movie.
Okay, indeed. So I can just say movie. So here I will have movie. And remember, this movie is an object. Now here I can log my movie. For now, we're just going to log my movie. Not movie title, just movie. And of course, if I do so and I go here and I refresh, what the hell is going on? Am I logging it? Data.movie for each. Yeah, it should log my data. Why is not logging it? What's going on? Data.movies for each movie. I want to console.log the movie. Yeah, but here I have a small problem, as you can see. So the problem was I am not calling my function here. I am not passing the reference. I was passing it inside another function. That's bad. So when it was my mistake, sorry. When I add an event load, so when the page is loaded, I want this function to be executed. So here I just need to pass the name of my function, as you can see. And now here, if I go, voila. So I have my object 1, ID, poster, title, object 2, ID, poster, title, object 3, ID, poster, title. Okay. Now, as I have my movie, what should I do after that when I have my movies? I have my movie object. What should I do here? What should I do?
Create a
You-
DOM.
I need to
Yeah,
create some DOM element, right? Because for each movie, I want to show it inside my DOM here. I cannot show it because it's some data, so I need to create some DOM element, right? Okay, first I will create a div container. For each movie, I will put it inside a div, separate div for styling. So I need to create a container for each movie. Remember, as that's a loop here. So for each movie, I will create a container. So I can just name it const container like that, document.create element. I will create a div here. Of course, I can add a class to it. So I can say container classless.add. I will add a class called movie. Now, each movie now, it will has its own div, which is own class. But I don't want just to create the container. I need also to create an H1 or H2 or S3 for the title. And also I need to create an image, right? Yes?
Yeah.
yeah.
So let's here first create title here. So we say create title. Of course, to create the title, I can use H2 or 3, for example. Here, I will say H2, for example, like that. But now the problem is, how can I put, now I have movies, that's my data. As you can see, movie, I have ID, title, and poster. So I need to put in this title here inside this title DOM element, this H2. So how can I do that? I can just say title dot inner text. It's equal to movie, that's my object, dot title. And that's simple, as you can see. I told you all the time, the front end is that's your DOM, and that's your data. And you need to just insert the data inside the DOM.
Yeah. But
Clear?
Samir, we don't need to append this title inside the container.
We will do it. First, we will create our element, and at the end, we will append all of them in the end.
Yeah.
Okay, now I create a title. Now I need to create an image, right? For the poster, I need to create an image tag, right? Guys, you are what's the
Yes,
problem
yes,
with you?
yes.
I mean, it's really not
Yeah,
that difficult. As you can see here, what do I need to do? I just need to create something like that. So I will create a div. As you can see, I will create a div with class movie for each my movie. And well, I need just to close it. That's what I'm doing here. I'm not doing something really complex. That's what I need to do. As you can see here, I need to create a div, and thus I create the div. I give it a class movie. Now each movie will have its own div. Then I need to create H2, and I need to put inside the title. But how can I access the title? Well, all I have to do just say title, my element dot inner text, it's equal to movies. That's my movie here. Movie dot title. I'm just passing it. Then now I need to create an image. I need to pass the source. In the source I have, if I go back here to my movies, I have posters. That will be my source, SRC. And I don't have alt, but I can use the movie title as alt if I want to, because I need to add the alt as well. So I'm just trying to create this element. So let's create my image. So create image. And here I can just say const img or poster, whatever you want. It's equal dom to create image. Now here I need to add the source. So I will say img.src, or I can just say set attribute just .src. It will be movie.poster, as you can see. And here as the alt, it will be movie.title, because I don't have alt in my data, as you can see. In my data, I don't have alt, so I can use the title of the movie, because the title of the movie, it will be unique probably. So voila, now I create all my elements here, as you can see. So I've created my container, I've created my title, I created my image, but I need to put now the title and the image inside this container. How? Well, it's quite simple. I just say container, let's append it, append title and image to container. So I just say container dot append, not append child. What's the difference between the two? Well, append allow me to append multiple elements. I want to put the title first, then the image. With append child, you cannot append multiple elements. You just append one. But with append, you can pass multiple elements, and the order does matter. So if I put the image here first, the image will be at the top. But I don't want that. I want the title, Actually, maybe it will be a good idea to add the image first, then the title. I will see it. If I don't like it, I can change it later. And voila, let's see. Image URL 5 PNG not found. So it's telling me this guy here, it's not good. My source is not good. So let's go to my data now. Like that. And now here I'm gonna look for any stuff like that. So that's Shawshank Redemption, whatever. I'm just gonna go to Google. And here I can just say poster. Click. And we have different poster here. I will pick someone nice. I pick this one. Accept all, it doesn't matter. I will right click on it and I can just say copy image address. Now I will go back here. I can just put it here. If you don't like that, you can download the image. Now it will be very long, as you can see. If you don't like that, you can download the image as well and just link it here, pass the relative path, but I don't want to install anything. What was the second movie? The Godfather. So I'm gonna copy it and just make sure that it exists or not. Voila. So the Godfather, I will put this one. That's the Godfather. Okay. So you right click on it, copy image address. Voila. And voila. Remember, now you need an internet connection for this image to happen. But if you download the image, you don't need internet connection. The last movie was what? Dark King. The Dark King poster. The Dark King. It was a Dark Knight, actually. Night poster. Okay, this one may be nice. So I'm gonna right click, copy image address, click it, and I'm gonna remove this one and put whatever I want. Voila. Click it. Now let's go to my website. And it looked like I have nothing. Let's just check what's going on. Inspect. Here. Well, I have a slightly a problem. Can anyone tell me what's the problem? I can't see my images. Why? Can anyone tell me what's the problem? Can anyone tell me what's the problem?
We don't log them to be shown. I don't know how to say it.
No, we did not append it to our DOM element. So I need to append it here to this movie, right?
Yeah.
I create that container. I need to add to this guy. If I don't add it to this guy, so I have movie. If I go here, I go to the body and I go to the main, I have movie here. So I need to put it inside. If I don't put it inside, of course, I don't see it. So here, what I want to do here, after I create the movie, I need to add it to the parent, which will be dom.movies.append container. Voila. And now if I go, voila. And that's how we do a project. Now here, it doesn't matter. Now, if I want now another movie, your code, when you write your code, when your code is good enough, if you change your data, it should automatically be able to handle the data without changing anything here. So now if I add another movie, it will be automatically added. Why? Because simply I am looping through my array and I don't care how many movies here, 1,000, 10,000, I don't care. For each movie, I am saying I want to create a container, title, image. I want to put the title and the image inside this container, and then I want to append this container, the movie, inside the movie parent. Now let's try to add another one, for example. So here I will add another movie ID and the title, I don't know, maybe you suggest something. The Lord of the Ring, for example, and I don't know if this poster is working or not. Let's go down, but here the poster is not working, but it's automatically being added. So let's go to the Lord of the Ring and make sure we are getting the correct poster. And it should automatically work, the Lord of the Rings poster. And here's the Lord of the Ring. I'm gonna copy this one, click, copy image address. And as you can see, I did not change anything in my code. I only change the data. And if your code is good enough, as you can see, it should handle anything. Now I can pass million movie, it doesn't matter. It will automatically be created. Did you understand the idea, what I'm trying to explain? Yes, no. And that's the reason why Agnieszka, all the time, if I want to create multiple things, it should be an array, because array has a lot of method. Now the object is useful, very useful also, but I don't have a lot of method on the object. So if I have a lot of movie or a lot of player or a lot of something like that, they need to be inside an object, I'm sorry, an array, because like that array give me a lot of method. I can loop through them, and then for each one I can create something. And as you can see, this small code now, with this small code, I was able to build this website. Of course, I did not style it yet, so I need to style it now. Let's open my CSS. I'll not style it very nicely, just so you see what's going on here. Okay, what do I have? So if I go to here and inspect, click the body, notice here in the movie what happened. So as you can see, for each movie, as you can see, it created div with class movie. And here inside this one, I have an image, and then I have a title, as you can see. And I created in JavaScript, as you can see. So what do I want to do here? Well, at first I need to select this title, the H1. I need to like center it. So let's just say, for example, H1, text align. So I would say just text align center. And here I can add some other property if I want to. For example, the font size, let's make it 2 rem. No margin, I don't want to add margin. And maybe the color here, the color is white, it should be good enough. If I go back now, this one is fine. And maybe I can transform it to uppercase, all of it, text transform, uppercase, all of it. Should be a little bit nicer, as you can see. Let's go back now to our image. What is the father? What is the parent of all images? It's this one, right? So I'm going to select movies, all of them. Remember, that's a parent element here. So what I want to do, I want to display it, flex. And here I will flex direction. I want it to be column. So each movie, it will be at the top of the movie here. Justify content center, align item center. Just justify content center, align item center. That should be fine for now. And as you can see, all my movie has been centered now. Of course, now I need to modify this image as well, because all of them I want it to be in the same size, as you can see. But now here is the parent component is responsive. It's quite nice. So now I can go to the parent of one movie. So what is the div which include one movie? It's movie. I added in my JavaScript. So now I can click on movie, single movie here, and I can do something, for example. So here inside this movie, I have two things. I have an image, and also I have a title for the movie. So I have two elements, as you can see. Maybe I can display it flex, and I can make the direction also column Y, because I want the poster to be at the top and the title be in the middle. So I'm going to accept these guys here and see what will be the result. Yeah, it's quite nice, as you can see. See? And voila. And maybe I can fix the image even. It will not be a good idea, but I can just fix the image width. So all of them, it will be the same. So I can just say dot movie image like that. The width, I want it to be 100%, height auto, and like that. So let's see if that's working. As you can see here, now all the images, as you can see, yeah, they are a little bit disturbed. So what I can do, I can just make it smaller a little bit, because they are a little bit big. And because not all images, they have the same quality. As you can see, this one is a little bit bad. This one is a little bit bad. So what I can do, I can just click on my movie, my single movie, and I can go to my image here. And as you can see, it's 100%. So maybe I can make it a little bit smaller. The width here. Yeah, and all of them, they have approximately the same width. Let's just make it, for example, 17%. Of course, the style, you can play with it later. 17%, voila. And voila, as you can see, everything should be responsive, as you can see. Nice, cute. Well, and I didn't do anything. Is the idea clear, guys, or no? Question?
Yeah, yes, I have. So if we store that data in separate file, data.js, why do we need to store this movie array inside data object? If we can create just a few const with depending of the subject, like
I can have
yes.
movie only?
Yes, no. Why do we need to store it inside the data? Because
Here.
we already have separate file data.js, but you also put it inside the data array.
Yes, but we have separate file, but the file Okay, the file is something, and this object is something. I will now take my data. I didn't do any separation of concern now. But the reason why my data all the time is object, let's say now, after I build my application here, now someone came to me and said, okay, I don't want, yeah, that's very nice, but I want you now to add more information. Let's say, I want you to add, for example, not just the movie. I want you, for example, to add more information to show something here, an ad, for example. For each movie, I want to add specific ad, like advertisement here. But if my data here, it will be just an array, I cannot. But if it's now an object, I can just add, for example, add, or here I can, it depend on my data, I can create another array and so on and so on. So the idea why it's an object, because object, it allow me easily to add more data if I want to. You got the idea, Daria?
Yes, yes and no. So now we have const data, and we store this data inside the inside an object. But why more maybe it's better idea to store const movie, not data, and store just object
I get
array.
I got your point. So you just don't want this data. It's maybe we can store just the movies and import our movies, right?
Yes.
You are right for this project, but again, you don't need to think small all the time. All the time, you need to think big. Now, for my project, I can use only movie, and you are absolutely right. But again, what is the future if I want to add more stuff to my website? Because the website, it will not stay like that. All the time, you need to update it, add more information. If my data here, notice, if it's just movie like that and it's an array, I cannot add more data. I can add only data for movies, but later on I want to add something else. Let's say advertisement. I need to add ads for each movie, or I can add something else. I need to add more data, not inside my movie, but I will need to add more data to, let's say I have advertisement here, like that ad, and this ad here, let's say it will be also an array. So my ad, it will be also an array. And in this array, I will have different advertisement here, different object like that. And here it was a different ID as well, one and blah, blah, something like that, add one. And I need to add a poster for each ad.
Yes, I got it. I got it, but you can also store it in separate variable. Why do you need to put it inside the data? You can create a separate variable, like variable movies, variable ads, and so on. But instead of this, you store it, all of this arrays, you store it inside that data object.
Okay, I got your point now. Now, if I have separate the data, like let's say I have movies, I have ads, I have blah, 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 a lot. So as you can see, you will have a lot of variable here. If you are exporting a lot of variable and you are working this very complex project, there is high chance that some variable, maybe they have the same name and you will have a bug. And that's what we call encapsulation. So encapsulation means I can store all the related data in one object. Now, here I have only one global variable, which is data, okay? And the chance to have the same variable name in all my project, it will be a little bit low. And if I really have something else, I can just fix, I have one bug only and I fix it in one place. But if I have separate variable, and most probably I will have a lot of individual variable, and here's the probability to create bugs, it will be bigger. You got my point, Daria?
Yeah, I got it. So it's just question about module export import.
Yeah,
it's just best practice.
It's best practice all the time to encapsulate your data.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much.
Support my family. Okay, it's fine. So the idea all the time, as you can see, even the DOM, I can access each item individually. I can put movies and I can put whatever I want to. All the time, try to encapsulate your data. Encapsulate your data, that means put it inside one object. It will be better like that. You are organize all your data in one place. You will have less chance to have a bug, and all your data in one place. It's much modular. It's better and it's more organized. Okay.
Yeah, it makes sense. Thank you.
It does make sense, right? Yeah.
Yes, sure.
Now, I want to do something here. My handler is ugly. I don't like it. As you can see here, my handler is a little bit ugly. What if I have a function, and inside this function, I'm creating a div for each movie, and I'm creating the title and the image, and then I will return this movie, and then I will append it to the movies. Won't it be a little bit better?
Yes, that's what my next question was for you, if we can do that.
Absolutely, we can that. What type of function? What's the name of the function which deal with the DOM? Is it util or component? The one that would deal with the DOM.
Component.
Component, of course. So here I can create a function, so const create movie. As you can see. And here I need to pass my data, my movie. Remember here, when I need to call this function here, then I will have a movie because I'm looping through them. Now in movie here, of course, I will have, as you know, ID, title, and stuff like that. So here, what I can do, I can cut this guy here. See, cut this guy, cut it, put it inside this one, and voila. So now I have a function, as you can see, I have a function, and this function, what it's doing here, it will take the data here, and now I'll call my function here. It will pass, I'm passing a movie, it will create container, it will add title, it will create image, then it will add the image and the title inside the container. But here I need to return the container. Why? Because I need to have the container here, I need to append it here. So what can I do? Here, after I append it, I need to return the container. Why do I need to return the container? Why do I need to return the container?
Because you need to append.
Absolutely. So now here, when I call my function, I can just say const movie DOM. Why do I name it movie DOM? Why did I name it movie DOM? Because it will return me here a DOM element, right? When I call this function create movie, I am passing the data, as you can see. And this function create a div for me, create a title, create image, adds the image and title inside the container, and then it will return me a DOM element, which is a div. Inside it, I will have H1, H2, sorry, and inside it, I will have an image. So now I will store it in this variable, which is called movie DOM. What's this function return? What does this function return? What does this function return? Guys.
DOM element.
Yes, so it return a DOM element. That's the reason why I came call it movie DOM. Now I have the movie DOM and I just can append it to my DOMs here. And now if I go to my application, it's working the same exactly. Cool? Is it cool or not?
Yes.
So here I don't need any util function. I don't need any util function because I don't have to deal with any data. The data is already there, that's simple. But I need a component function actually. Why? Because the component function, as you can see, it will create a div for me. It will then add a title and image, create those and add them inside this container. Now I need to return the container. Why? Because when I call this function, I need to get the movie DOM. And the movie DOM here, it will be div inside it H1, inside it I will have an image. When I get for each movie, then I can append it to the DOM.movies and voila, that's it. I'm done now. Now I need to do my separation of concern. And the separation of concern is super simple, right? Because now I have my data, I have my DOM, I have my component function, and I have my handler and I have my event. So everything is simple, right? Or not?
Yes.
So when you write your code this way, it's very, very simple now to do separation of concern. So all I have to do now, I have to grab this data. I'm just going to cut this data, cut, and I will go to data, and I'm going to paste it here. And now I don't need that, of course, because I know it's my data, and I just need to export it. Export exp data. And whenever I need the data, I can import it. But now I'm exporting it here now in any file. Whenever I need the data, I can import it. So that's good. Let's go back to our init. That's a DOM, same idea. I'm going to cut my DOM, go to the DOM here, paste it. I don't need this comment anymore. And here I can just export my DOM, exp default DOM. And whenever I need the DOM, any place I need the DOM, now I can import it. I'm just exporting it here. That's good. What else do I need? Well, create movie. What is create movie? Is it component? Is it event? Is it handler? Is it util?
Component.
Component.
So I will go to component. Inside the component, I will create a new file, and the name of the file, I'll make it exactly as the name of my function. It's you don't have to, but it's better like that, so I know It's just like convention I do. You can name it whatever you want your file, but like that it will be easier. I would just say create movie.js. Voila. And now here I'm going to my init. I'm gonna cut this guy. Cut. Tricky. Paste. And of course, as you know now here, I need to export my create movie. And whenever I need to use this function, I can use. But remember, whenever I call this function, I need to pass my movie here. And movie, it will be an object, huh? You need to remember that. Okay. Here, what do I have list? Now I have my event and I have my handler. It should be simple, right? So here I will go just inside my event first. And here, what should I name it? Load event. I can just say it, load event.js. Why do I name it load event? Because the handler is load handler. And here I can just name it load event. So load event, I need to take this here, cut it, put inside the event. Voila. And now here, what stay here? My handler. I need to cut it, which is called load handler. So I need to go to inside the handler, create a new file, and I need to name it load handler.js. Cool. And of course, I need to export this handler, as you know. exp default load handler. Okay. Now here, my event, it's here, it's fine. Let's go step by step here. After I export everything, and of course it will not work because I need a function, which is I need my handler here. I did not import it. But let's go step by step. Do I need data here? I'm exporting my data. I'm exporting my DOM. That's fine. Do I have any util function? No. Do I have any component function? Yes. And here in component function, I just export it. I don't need anything in the, as you can see, I don't need anything in my create movie because I'm creating everything, as you can see. So I don't need anything here. Not data, nothing. I don't need anything here. So if I go now to my event, do I need something here? Yes, I do need. What do I need here? What do I need here?
Handler.
I need the function load handler, right? Because I don't have it. I can just say import load and your VS Code, it will help you. Because I need this function here. If I don't have that function, it will be function is not defined. So now I'm importing my handler here. It will be nice. Okay, let's go to my handler. What do I need inside my handler? What do I need inside my handler?
DOM and data.
DOM and data, perfect. So now here I need to say import data first. So data, voila. .js. How could I know I need, because here I have data here and I need to import the DOM. That's it, it's not difficult here. Import DOM, which is indeed I need it, but I need something else. What do I need? What do I need?
Component.
Component function, because here I'm using create movie and I don't have it, so I need to import it. Import create movie and voila. Now I have everything here. And now I have a problem because in init here now, of course, if I go, it's not working. Why it's not working? Can anyone tell me why it's not working? Can anyone tell me why it's not working?
Because it's main.js file and you need to build the project here.
Indeed. So this file here is related to my, this one is the entry point, but it has nothing inside it. So what should I do here? Here I need to import all my event. Import events. And here to import the event, I can just say import. And I can import, by the way, all the file. So I can say dot slash. No, it's actually dot slash. I will go to my event. And here in event, it's a folder. I need to, with this one, load event.js. Voila. And here I'm importing all the file. You can import all the file if you want. And if I go back, voila. Question. So again, here I have my component function. My component function here. This is function declaration. I'm just telling JavaScript, okay. My function, it will take a movie, it will be an object, and then I'm creating this stuff, then return me the DOM element. I'm exporting my function. Whenever I need it, I can use it. Okay. Now here in the event, what do I want? I want when the Windows is loaded, when it is loaded, everything is being loaded. I want to call this handler, but I don't have the handler, so I need to import it. I will go inside my handler. My handler function, as you can see, is need data, because I need to loop through my data. So I need to import the data.movie for each movie. Then here I need to create the DOM for each movie. But I mean, as a function is not here, so I need to import it. Import create movie from dot component, and yeah, voila. And then here I need to append it to the DOM, but I don't have the DOM, so I need to import it. Then say DOM.movie.append this one here, which is the DOM element, because my function here return a DOM element. And here I need to export my handler because I need to import it inside the event. And when I'm done here, all my event, I should import them inside init, because if I don't import them inside init, the init here is the entry which is linked to your index.html. So I need to import everything here, which is the event here. And of course, when I import the event, that's the event here, it will, when they load it, it will call this function, which will import it from the handler. And the handler here, it will need the data, the DOM, the create movie, and it will import them from data, DOM, and also from component. Is the idea clear? Complex?
A bit.
You need just to practice a little bit, that's it. Did you understand the idea? Anyone does not understand the idea? Anyone does not understand the idea? Okay, no questions asked me, you did not understand it at all.
Samir, after we do all this separation and in init file GS, we always have to import the events, not the others.
Only the event. Here in this file, only the event.
Okay.
And if you have some like predefined data when the page is loaded, maybe here, but most of the time, only event.
Okay.
Okay, I have a question here.
Yeah.
Now, as you can see, I am importing the whole events, the whole file. Do you think that's a good idea or a bad idea when I'm importing the whole file?
Bad idea.
Why?
We need to store events in different function. Then we recognize which event we are importing there.
Very good. Why? Because here what I am doing in my init, I am importing the whole file, as you can see, and maybe by mistake, some junior developer came here and add some stuff, and I'm importing it inside init, and I will have a lot of problem. So here, importing the whole file is always bad idea. What could be the solution?
Import only one single event that we want?
Yes, but how? Because now, as you can see, my event here is I cannot export it or import it. It's just line of code.
Don't know.
Maybe I can do what?
Store in function.
Function?
Yes. So I can create a function here and put this guy inside my function. Then I can export this function inside init and I can execute it. So it will not make any difference, but the idea here, it will be just a little bit better. Why? Because here I am importing the whole file and it's bad idea. What I need really to import something specific, because when you import something specific is always better idea. So what should we name the name of the function? Load.
Events?
Yes, so I can just say const load event. It will be nothing, by the way, huh? It's just here, I don't need that, but it will be better for my code. So I will create a function, as you can see. I will create a function and I will store this line of code here, this one. Now, because I'm creating a function, now I can export something specific, right? Load event.
Yes.
And now because I'm exporting load event, now I will go to my init and I will not import everything. No, I will just import my function. Import events. What do we call it? We call it load event, right? Load events, voila, from this one. And now here, because it's a function, what should I do?
Call the function?
I need to call the function and voila. And now if I go back, it's the same idea. So remember again, in event, I can import everything, but importing everything always is bad idea. So we are trying to encapsulate everything. So what I did, I just add this guy inside a function, and now I'm exporting the function, as you can see. On here, I will just import it in init, and remember, I'm importing something specific, this function only. And then, of course, I just need to execute it. Why do I need to execute it? Because if I don't execute it here, I will not be able to add this event here. So I just add it inside the function. I import it in init, this function only. And then here, I'm just executing like that. And voila. And that's how we do separation of concern. I'm going to repeat it again. In separation of concern, we normally have to separate different parts. So if I go again here, I need to separate my data. My data always, most of the times they're coming from the backend. But now, because I don't have any API, you don't know how to send a request to API to get the data. I just created my data here. And put all my data inside an object, because like that, if I need more data, I can add them easily, and it will be encapsulated inside one object. It is better. Now I'm exporting only one thing. Those are my movies. Of course, you can add as much as movie as you want to. That should be simple. Now your DOM here, depending on what do you want to do. Now in my index.html, as I told you, well, I just want to create for each movie some DOM elements, some div with title and poster, and I want to append it inside this one. So this one here, I will put all my movie inside this div. So my DOM element, I just need this one only for now. So I'm going here, as you can see, const DOM, I just need the movie. So I say movie.document.query selector.movie, and I will export it. Now, whenever, because I'm exporting the data and the DOM, in any file, if I need them, I can import them. It's fine. After that, I will go to util. Do I have any util function? No, in my example, I don't have anything. But do I have a component function? Yes. What's the difference between util function and component function? Component function, they manipulate the DOM. So you see document, create element or select element, you are modifying something in the DOM. Util function, they are manipulating the data. That's the difference between the two. So what the hell I'm doing in this function? Well, I'm saying, okay, JavaScript, this is my function, create movie. And I will pass an object here. And when I pass an object, I want you to create a div. I want to give it a class movie. I want you to create a title, H2. I want to, and inside my data, I will have movie. It will be an object, and I will have a title. I want to put this title inside this title.inner text. Then I want you to create an image. And I have in my data movie.poster because the movie is an object, poster is property. I want you to make this poster as image source. And for the image alt, I want you to use the same title. Then I want you to put the image and the title inside this container, which is a div. And then I want you to return this DOM element. That's fine. I'm exporting my functions. That means any place I want it, I can just import it. Cool. I'm going to my event now. What event do I need? Well, I want when my bean is loaded, I want to trigger this function, which is called load handler. But I told you now, if I didn't put this event inside a function, I need to export all the file, and exporting all the file is always a bad idea. That's the reason why I put it inside a function. I just name it load event, and as you can see, the name of the file and the name of the function is the same. Because I put it inside the function, I just need to export it. And here in init, we need to import only the event. So here, as you can see, import load event, which is a function from event.load event. And then here, I can just call my function. It's a function, I need to call it. So yeah, when I call the function, so I will add this event to the windows, and then it will call this function or this handler, load handler. But I don't have load handler, so I need to import it, import load handler, because I need it here. And okay, I just import it. Let's go now to load handler. Where's my load handler? Click. So my load handler, as you can see, is a function. I'm exporting it. That's why I can import it inside the event. So what we are doing? Well, I say, okay, give me the data I have. I want to go to movies because the movies is an array inside them. Then I want to look through each movie. And for each movie, of course, I will have ID, title, and poster. But here I need data. So I will just import the data. Okay, now here I have one movie, one object, ID, title, poster, because I'm looping through all of them. Then here for each one, what do I want to? Well, I want to create a movie DOM element. And here I'm just saying const movie DOM, create movie. So create movie here, I need this component function. And as you know, this component function return me a DOM element, a div with class movie. Inside it, I have h1 and inside, and also I have image. And of course, all the data, it will already be inserted inside. So I will have the DOM with the necessary data. Of course, I need to pass my data, my movie. So I'm passing my movie to this function. So it will go to this function, it will create a movie, then it will return me DOM element. And then here, I'm just appending it to the movie here in my DOM. So I need
Yeah. Samir, I have one question.
Hmm.
Line number 8,
Hmm.
can we shift in the component?
Giniando,
Yeah.
you can do that, but that's a bad idea. That's a good question, actually.
Because it's the DOM, right?
I will
Append.
tell you why. No, that's a really good question, actually. So now Giniando is telling me, what if I import the DOM here and I just append my movie inside DOM.movie and not in the handler? And I'm telling you that's bad idea. Can anyone tell me why? Why I am returning the container here and I'm not just, I can append it. I can just import my DOM here and I say DOM.movie append the container and I don't have to do it in the handler. But why is this a bad idea? Think of it. Think of it this way. Now, why we are separating util and component function? For what? For what? For reusability, right?
Yeah.
Because I want to able to reuse them again and again and again and again. Let's say now I want to create another movie, but I don't want to append it to this container. But
Okay.
if you are appending it inside the function, it will go inside the DOM, so I cannot control it. You got my point?
Yeah, yeah.
So here, if I say, for example, just say DOM, I say I import the DOM and I say .movie appends like that. Every time I call this function, my container, my movie, it will be appended to here, to movie. But I don't want that. I want, why? Because maybe now I am using it inside the movie. Maybe later on, I need to use the same function inside the advertisement, for example. I don't want to append it in a specific place. And that's the reason why I return it. Because when I return it, now here, if I have a DOM element, and if I have a DOM element now, I can append it any place I want to. Is it quite clear, Diniando?
Yeah, but if I have like advertise movie, then I will create another handler for advertise movie.
You will create another handler, yes, but I don't have to create another. If the advertisements, they have the same stuff, they have the title and stuff like that, I don't have to create a new component function. Of course, you need to create a new handler. Of course, you need to create a new event listener. Yes, you need to create that. But in here, I don't need to create a new component function.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Got it, got it. Yeah, yeah.
So we are doing all this separation of concern for two reasons. Because my util and component function, I can reuse them again and again and again. The handler and the event, I cannot reuse them. Why? Because they are related to specific element. The handler, because it's related to specific element. But what I can use again and again in multiple projects is a component function and the util function. Why? Because the util function, it deals with data, it returns me the data, so I can use it in any place I want to. And the component function here, it just create me a div with some title. As long as I am passing the correct data here, movie, which is an object, it will give me a DOM element like that. So I will have something like that. I will have something like that. And I will have a div like that, div. Let me just, that will be my DOM element div. And of course, we will have a class movie. And inside it, I will have image, of course. So I will have an image, let's say img like that. Img, voila. And I will have also, here, I need just to close it. Voila. And I will have h2, voila. So what these functions return, it will return me something like that. Now, I will not append it in the movie. Why? Because if I append it in the movie, let's say after that, I need it in poster, or I need it in advertisement. Well, it will automatically append this element I am creating inside this movie. That's not what I want to. I cannot control it this way. So the best way it will be to return the DOM element. And now if I return the DOM element, I can use it not just with movie, I can use it with poster, blah, blah, whatever I want to. Yes, I will need to create a new handler, but the new handler here, then I will receive the DOM element I want to, and I can append it any place I want to. I think the idea clear, if I'm not mistaken. Yes? Yes, no? No, no, no answer.
Yes.
Yes. All the time. So take it a rule. All the time. Your component function should not append something directly to the parent here. So component function here, they can manipulate something. So if you want it to be reusable as much as possible, you should pass your data. And as I told you before, the component function take data and return DOM element. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the data, which will be an object, which ID, movie, stuff like that, and I'm returning a DOM element. And that's what we call the component function. And as a util function, also, they take data, manipulate the data, and return me the data. So in my project, what two part it will be reusable all the time? Most of the time, the component functions, they will be reusable. I can use it in any other project like that. And util functions, they will be reusable. The handler and the event here, they will not be reusable because they are related to specific element. So that's good. That's good. I told you before, our util or logical function, we can test them, right? Yes, no? Can we
Yes.
test our util
Yes,
function?
yes.
Yeah, now we can also test our component function. How? We didn't see so. I know I'm explaining a lot of new stuff, but remember, I mean, you will have 1 week off, so you will have a lot of time to think about this one. And after that, when you come back, by the way, we're going to explain everything in detail in separation of concerns. So what I'm giving you now, we'll explain it later in detail. But I give you in a little bit more time, but like that, you will get the idea and you will have more time to understand. And if you have any question, of course, you can ask me. Now here, I've noticed also some of you do not write the GSDoc. All the time when you have a function, you need to write the GSDoc. That's important. It's not something, how can I say it, extra. No, it's something necessary. So here I will just say I am creating a movie element or a movie DOM element. That's what my function is doing. What parameter do I need? What parameter do I need? I need an object, right? So I'm passing here an object, as you can see. Okay, on movie here, and I can just say movie object. And what does I return? What I'm returning HTML element, movie element. So my parameter here, movie, like that. And actually, if I want to show also the object, maybe I can also show what's inside the object here. I can show it an example, but I'm not sure if in GSDoc we have something like that. Let's test it in, let's click on this one. Let's just say here GSDoc for object. GSDoc for object. Tag documentation. Yeah, I can pass all my data actually like that. So see what's the type. How to define object with type GSDoc? Clicking. Oh, no. So here is just telling me object only. Yeah, but yeah. So for the object, I can just say type. If I pass the object here, I can pass the property as well if I want to like that. Okay. Well, let's try to do it then. What was this one keyword here? It's called this one. Voila. So here I can just pass this way. Type of, and I need to say object if I'm not mistaken. Object. Okay, maybe I can define it in another way. Just let's say object like that. OBJ. You can go back to the documentation, by the way, but here I think I need to add a property. So here at properties, yes, I have property. String. So as you can see, I'm defining my property here in this parameter. Maybe I can leave some space like that. So it has a movie title here, and I'm saying it will be string. Movie poster, it will be a string. And in here also, an easy ID actually. Property, yeah, but it will not be an object. No, it will be an ID property. And here it will be an ID. And of course, an ID here, it will be a number. Movie ID. So voila, that's how we defined an object in GSDoc. So now it's very clear for everyone who want to use my object. So as you can see, I have one parameter, which is object. It's movie object, but I have some property, as you can see. The first property here, it's number, it's movie ID. The second property, I have a string, which is movie title here. And property here is string as well, which is the movie poster image URL. And what does I'm returning? That's how we return a DOM element, HTML element, just movie element like that. Is it okay? Just JS documentation like that. If you don't know how to do GSDoc, that's fine. You can just Google it. I don't remember this one, and I just Google it like that. But documenting your function is super important. Okay, you need to know how to document your function correctly. Is the idea clear, guys?
Yes.
Okay. Now I've documented my functions. That's very nice. Most of the time we document our function, which is, I can document the handler, by the way, as well. So the handler now, maybe I can document it as well. But most of the time we document all the time the component and the util function. Why? Because they are
Reusable.
exactly, because they are usable. Like I need to, maybe now I'll create this function and my colleague need to use it. But if there is no GSDoc, how can I create it? If he reads the GSDoc, okay, it's one parameter, it's object, and it has different properties, three property number, movie ID, which is number, property string, which is the title string, blah, blah, and it return a DOM element, which is perfect. Now, can I test my component function? Yes, no. Can I test it? Yes, no.
No.
Why no? Of course we can. New file, so let's just say create, but we didn't learn it. We will learn it now. Create movie.test.js. Voila. So here, as you, movie is correct. Yes, create movie. Perfect. So first, I need just to import my function, right? It's test file. So I need to import create movie, and voila. Now here, when we are testing our component function, as I told you, we cannot really test the DOM element inside Node. So what I need to do here, I need to use something called jest environment jest. So what I need to do here, I need to just add a comment like that. And in here, clicky, no, it's now slash clicky. And here, just environment, just DOM, if I'm not mistaken, just. No, just environment. I forgot this one. I think it's just environment. Just DOM. No, just DOM, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, let's go back to one of my repo as the previous one, just to make sure that I did not make any mistake. Or maybe I can Google it. So let's see here, gallery. No, grocery but, let's see. Grocery but, no, I don't have grocery but. Yeah, maybe I have this one. Let's go to source. Let's go to component, and I'm testing this one. And as you can see, I just need to add this guy here, actually. I'm going to share it with you. It shouldn't be like that. So I just need to add this one here. So was this one is telling just here, is telling you, or it was telling my code, I don't want to use Node as an environment to test this function, because simply Node is just an environment for JavaScript in the backend, and I do not have the DOM. But if I add this comment, just environment, just DOM, now it will use just DOM, which is, as I told you, it's like a fake DOM on the backend, and now it will allow me to test my function. And now here I can use the normal way I am doing it. So I need to use describe, right? Describe, can anyone remind me what describe is working, or how describe is working? I need to pass, I'm testing what? Create a movie. And of course, this one describe is not correct. So describe like that. And yeah, create a movie element, and it will take a function like that. So if you remember, I have described, it's the same. It's very similar to util function now. All you have to do, you just have to add this comment here. It's very important to add this comment, because that's how the library work. Now I will go to the library. So you need to add this one when you test your component function, when you deal with the DOM element. Otherwise, your test is not going to work. So you need to add this one, because this one is just telling you, I want you to use the JSDOM. JSDOM here is fake DOM, because if you didn't use fake DOM, node does not have a DOM, so it will not allow you. Other than that, here now I can write my test. So I need to write test, right? And test here, of course, takes 2 parameters, as you can see. Same idea. And now here I can just, yeah, let's test first, for example, if the parent here is, let's say test parent element. Test. Let me just leave it for now like that. I will go here now inside this function. And now I will just here. Before I do my test, now I need to have some data to test my function. Why? Because as you can see here in create movie does take an object. I need an ID, and I need an ID, I need the title, and I need a poster, as you can see. So I need to call this function. I need to pass some data, and then it will return me DOM element, and then I can check the DOM element if it's working or not. So how can I do it? Well, I can just say const movie DOM, it's equal to create movie. So I'm just calling my function here. And what I need to pass? What do I need to pass? What do I need to pass? Guys, what do I
Object.
need to pass to my function? What do I need to pass to my function?
Object.
Yes, but the rest, what are you doing? I mean, I need to pass an object with ID, and let's say here, voila, that's it. It's not biggie, actually. That's all I need to pass. Here, I don't need you. So what I'm doing here? Well, what I'm doing here, as you can see, I am calling my function. I'm passing some data here. And now here, that's my DOM element. And now I can test it. So how can I do it? Well, I will say expect movie. It's the same as, I will not use to be, because here all the time the DOM elements are object, as I told you. So I need to use to equal, not to equal. So what the hell I am doing here? Well, now I need to check different property. Remember that the movie DOM here, it will be a div, and inside this div, I will have a class called movie, and inside it, I will have a title, and then inside it, I will have an image. So here, what I can do, I can use movie to DOM here, and remember, of course, it's the same here, expect, and here, not contain movie, no. I will remove this one just to equal like that, and I will remove this one as well. So for now, it's the same as before, as you can see. I'm not using anything. I'm just using expect to equal. Remember, again, the DOM element are objects, so I need to use to equal. So what can I do? I can take my movie DOM and remember that's DOM element. So movie DOM here, dot. Now, if I say dot, so I have a lot of stuff here. As you can see, I have inner HTML, I have class list, so I can check the class list. I can check a lot of stuff. But what I'm going to check here, I'm going to just check node name. Can anyone tell me what's the node name here it will be? What's the node name here it will be? What is the node name? What is the parent? What is the parent when I create movie DOM? What is the parent?
Div.
Div. So in the node name here, it will be div, but the node name by convention is all uppercase like that. Voila. Now here, if I go here and you search in, for example, let's say div element node name, all of that's HTML, that's DOM property. Node, let's say node name. It's like that. So node name, what is a node name? So the node name here is a property of the node. It returns the name of the current node. The current node, that means the current element. So for example, here, it show you probably some example here. A node name PR. So it will be PR tag. Why? Because what's the result here? As you can see here. So I'm taking, for example, the PR. What's the node name it will be? It will be PR, but it will be uppercase. All of them, it will be uppercase. Now, to run my test, I just have to say npm run test. Npm run test. Let's see if that will work or not. I have a problem. Why? Syntax cannot use import outside of statement module. True. So the problem here, I need to do something here. Can anyone tell me what should I do?
Type module.
Type module. Clicky, and that should work. Okay, let's test it again. import create movie. Why is not working? This file just ignored. Component test suite for run. Yes. Movie.test just field parse files that happen when dependency is not standard JavaScript syntax or just is not configured to support the, but I configured just actually. Because here, as you can see, I am adding just environment. Do I have just environment just I do have it. That should be okay actually. Maybe I can check to see if I forgot any stuff here. Okay, this one should be fine. I've added this one. I'm importing this one, so everything should be fine here. Describe, it's fine. Let me go to package.json. In package.json here, I just have just. Yes, and have just environment JSON. That should be okay. Yeah, nothing. Just here's the type module actually. And I should not have any problem here. Why it's not working? Can anyone tell me why it's not working?
Samir, it's not because of the bubble?
Yes, indeed. It's because of the Babel. So as I told you here, one node, we cannot just use this one. We need to create a Babel RC. Actually, it's dot Babel RC. Dot Babel RC. Babel dot Babel RC file. Voila. And now here I can just go to your stuff, your new repo here, just to copy it. So let's click on this one in just starter. Those are just some settings. So should be for you. You don't have to worry about that. But I did not clone the repo Babel RC. So I'm going to just copy this guy. Copy. Voila. I'm going to just paste it. And here I need to install another library, as you know, which will be Babel RC, blah, blah, blah. So let me go to package.json. And what was it? What was it? Yeah, here's this guy. I need to install it as a dev dependency, of course. So let me go here. And I should npm I -d and at Babel 1. Now it should be fine, hopefully. And let's try to do that. Clicky, clicky, and voila. And as you can see here, when I'm trying my first test here, but I did not pass anything to my test. So what I need to do, I need to go to here. I need to go to the component and then my test. Of course, now I need to add something here. And here I just say, let's say node name. So let's see, node name. What the node name should be? Should be? What should be?
Div?
Yes, uppercase div. So that's my first test. Now, remember when I call my function, I call it inside the describe. And like that, now I can use the same movie with multiple tests. Now I am testing the movie node element, but now I can test the class name. So I just make sure that the node elements, that means my element here, the parent element here is the div. I'm checking if it's a div. Indeed, it's a div. Now I need to check if it has a class. So here I see it has a class. What's the name of the class should be? What's the name of the class should be?
Movie?
Movie, indeed. So it should be movie. Clicky. And here I need to, of course, remove this one because the name of the class is not correct. And I just see, I can just say movie dom.class name. Class name here. What's the class name should be?
Movie.
Movie. Let's see if that will work or not. If it passes, that means it's correct. If not, it's voila. Click. And as you can see, it has a class movie, which is passed as well. Perfect. Now, my first element, I make sure that my parent element is a div. How? Well, I'm using the node name. So the node name, it will tell you just what tag it is. And of course, which tag it is. But here in the node name, normally it's come uppercase. All the tag, it will be all of them, they will be kept uppercase, whatever it is. So for example, if it's a paragraph, it will be uppercase B. It will be the same tag, but it will be uppercase. I'm checking if it has a class movie, and yes, it has a class movie. And now here I need to make sure it has two children. Why? Why I need to make sure it has two children? Why not three children, for example? Let's go back to my movie. Let's click on this movie here. So yeah, I make sure that the node name here is a div. I make sure it has a class. Now I need to make sure how many children it has. How many children this guy has?
2.
Two. So I need to check if it has two children or not. So I'm testing it because, so I can copy this one, put it here, and we have a property hole. So if you click on movie DOM, now we have something called children count or something like that. Children element count. And how much it will be?
2.
Two, but I'm not sure if it will be string or it will be a number. Let's see. Children count here. It's number. So yeah, it's giving you its number. So let's add 2, save it. If you are not sure, if you hover over it, notice it tell you it will be a number, as you can see. If you are not sure about this one, you see it will return you a string. If you are not sure about this one, show it will tell you it returns string. And of course, you can go to the documentation all the time here. Documentation, and it will show you here. Children, count, property. It return what? So go down, down, down. Where is return? Return. It should return, as you can see, 1 or 2. Does not support a lot of stuff, actually. Yeah, it return 1. So it's a number or VS Code, it will help you. Let's see if I'm passing this test as well. And yeah, as you can see, I'm passing the third test as well. So I make sure that my parent name, the node name is div. I make sure it has a class called movie. I make sure it has 2 children. Now here I need to make sure that the first child is, what the first child should be? So I need to make sure that the first child is an image and the second child is H2. And we can do that, of course. So all I have to do, I just have to copy this one. Voila. Paste it like that. I'm gonna delete this description, of course, because it's a new test. And I'm gonna remove this one for now. And I need to remove this one. If I'm not mistaken, it has first child. First child, as you can see. And first child, I can also use node name. Node name. So what's the first child node name must be?
Image.
All cap, IMG. And yeah, I can also test how many children this, no, it has no children. What else? First child. So I'm testing, okay, first child. What's the first child should be? It should be IMG. And first child, of course, now as you can see, you may tell me, how do you remember all these properties? So when I need to type movie DOM and look for this property, I've tested before, so I know this property. But here, node name, class name, we'll use it all the time. So don't worry, child count, how many children it has now. First child, I want it to be image. And if my test is correct, I pass it, that means it will be good. Clicky, and I'm passing my test as well, as you can see. Now, the second child, what do you expect to be?
H2.
Yes, so H2. And here, not first child, I want second child. Second child. So how can, it should be H2. How can I access the second child? Well, if I click on this one, and it has a property called children, if I'm not mistaken, children like that. Now children here, it look like an array, as you can see. It's HTML collection, an HTML collection. Before I told you we can access it using the index. So I can say children. And so if I say movie DOM.children, it will give me a HTML collection and I access it using the index. That's the second index here. It's 1. And here is the second index. I can just say dot node name again. And it will tell me now the node name is like that. For the first child, I can use the same as well, by the way. I can use this one. Either use the first child or you can use this one, but you need to pass bracket 0. So let's see if that will pass or not. And clicky. And I'm passing the second child. And like that, I am testing my component function. Any question?
Samir, can you push this code for at least a few days that we can an opportunity to go back and read it again?
Absolutely. I will, what I can do here, I will share this code with you now, with everything. And like that, you will have, I know, I mean, you have 1 week, you can go back and try to do it here. I know it's a lot of new idea I presented today, but you have 1 week to digest this one. And don't forget that we're gonna repeat that everything in separation of concern. So from now on, we will do the same stuff again and again and again and again and again. And at the end, it will be very easy for you. Is that okay?
Will you push it to the GitHub?
Yes, I will push it to GitHub now.
Okay, thank you.
Let me just name it get init. Yeah, now here's in now. What's the hell? Why is 15? Because I don't have get ignore. Let's create get ignore. Dot get ignore. Here, let me just go to my JStarter. And do I have get ignore? Yes. I just need to copy those. Voila. Now I'll change. 15 changes, that's fine. Let's go to GitHub. I need to create a new repo. I will Samir. I'll name it separation of SOC, and it was movies, right? And public, everything should be fine. Okay, now all I have to do, copy this one. Voila. Need to copy the second one. Voila. Git add, git commit, and here I just need to get push. And voila. And voila.
Yeah,
So-
thanks a lot.
I'll share the link with you, or if you go just to my GitHub account, you'll find it here. Okay. You have more than 1 week to go slowly through that. I'm not expecting from you to understand everything in 1 day. So, but I am telling you, oh shit, I did not this one to get ignore. I'm recording, very good. Okay. I need to delete this file. Okay. Who makes the changes? Okay, should be better. Okay, guys. So as you can see, package.json, I've already installed just for you, just environment DOM. Everything is installed for you. This one is everything is installed. Index.html, I've just, yeah, that's it. Readme.md, don't forget all the time you need to fill it. It's quite important. Babel.rc, you already have the setting. You don't need anything. And for index, it's just nothing. For src, you have your component function, as you can see. That's how we test it. And don't forget to add this one. Whenever you're testing component function, you need to add this comment here, because this one is telling just to use just DOM environment, which is a fake DOM. But if you did not specify this one, it will use Node, and in Node, we does not have a DOM. The rest should be very clear. No problem at all here. Here and in init, everything should be clear. Question? Again, don't be scared. It's 9. I mean, I'm not expecting from you to understand this one. It will take some time to understand everything, and even more time to implement it correctly. But we have a lot of time, so don't worry. Question I can explain? Any question? Any question?
No.
I did not, no. Guys, I did not push public. I'm sorry for that, because it was empty, so Git did not track it here. So you already in your template repo, you already have public. But in my case, I didn't have anything, so Git was not able to track it. But you have everything else. If no question, I'm gonna stop the recording and let's take a break.